All right. Morning, guys. This is going to be my first YouTube video. I'm DK from DK Damn Fine Shave, or DK Damn Fine Shave, over at Instagram. That's where I used to do a lot of my content, but I'm going to try out YouTube. So I figured today I'd get started with some of my favorite gear in my den, as well as some of my top pickups that I got in 2019. This isn't a best of 2019 or naming kings and queens of 2019 in the wet shaving world. This is just some of my favorite gear and some of my favorite pickups that I got in 2019. So I wrote down a little list here. So if you see me look down, that's what I'll be doing. And just a little intro. I know I got a beard. Let's just get that elephant out of the room. I got a beard, but I'm a wet shaver. I got plenty of gear. I've been doing it for about 3 years at this point. But just get over it. And if you can't get over it, sorry. It's not going nowhere. Just get used to it. So that's out of the way. In the future, you can look forward to some live shaves that I'll bring over from my Instagram, as well as some more dedicated shaves and product reviews and stuff like that. Mostly wet shaving stuff, shave of the days, but I'll dabble in a little bit of fragrances and beard care and men's products. Just whatever comes across my plate, you know? So that's what you can look forward to, and I look forward to just sharing experiences and meeting a lot of you guys and whatnot. So I also am an avid fan of craft beer, as well as just, imbibing, having a good time. So you can expect that kind of stuff. Sorry if you don't like it, but it is what it is. So with that said, cheers, and we'll get started. If you're wondering, Apolliner, Oktoberfest Marzen. Really, really good stuff. All right, so let's see. I'll just go in the order that I wrote it down. It's not necessarily, it might seem like it's jumping around a bit, but I just wrote it down as it came to my brain, so here we go. So, starting off with some of my favorite vegan bases. I know the wet shaving world seems to be a predominantly tallow-loving. This is what it is. You know, tallow's the best. Don't want to hear anything about vegan. But the reality is vegan bases have came a long way, and they're very viable and worthy of your den. And here are a couple that I would point you towards right off the bat. Zingari Man. This one was the Tribe Soap. It was a special edition, but she's updated all of her year-round line into this vegan number 9 base, and it's very worthy. Don't have any preconceived notions when you give these a try. Just try them, and I guarantee you they're worthy. So Zingari Man. Next up, we got Herc Soaps. Another good vegan, totally worthy of your den, really good stuff. This one has a more military theme. The Zingari Man has kind of a traveling theme, but both really good, definitely worthy of checking out. Now this one I'm a little bit newer to, but the base was shockingly good, and the scent was very interesting. So, Southern Witchcrafts. This one kind of has a more spooky, maybe gothic, more darker type theme. And really cool stuff. Definitely different in the wet shaving space. They stand out, and really top tier vegan base right there. All of those are going to have all the cushion, the slickness, residual, primary slickness. They're going to have great post shaves. I mean, you're not going to have nothing to bitch about, really. All right, so those were 3 right there, vegan bases. All right, so the next are some really good but underappreciated soap bases that I enjoy. And I got them right here. So first off, right off the bat, Strike Gold Shave. This was a special release. I'll show you their kind of more normal year-round line. But Strike Gold Shave, definitely a good tallow base. This, I don't see it talked about as much other than just the people that are actually like following them, you know, on Facebook or Instagram. I don't see it just out in the blue as often, but totally good soap base and really good scents from my experience. So give it a try. Under the radar, underappreciated, I think. Now this is going to be really similar, made by the same soap maker, but different brand entirely. So Marting Soaps, formerly of Maison Boutique. They used to be vegan only. This is a tallow base. It's top notch. It got a great scent. Pretty good looking packaging. We got the side label and everything. I know you guys like your side labels. But really good all around. Not exactly sure if it's the same soap base, but if not, it's really similar and really worthy of having in your den. Alright, moving right along. Next one is Lisa's Natural Herbal Creations. This one happens to be Florida Freeze. It's a mentholated scent. Not overdone. I just feel like it's a nice cooling effect. Nothing, it's not one of those freeze your face off, you know, tear up and ball up into the fetal position. You know, it's not one of those. Just a nice cooling effect and really nice summer, springtime scent. Citrus punch. It's really good. This one is actually the sheep's milk formula. She has a couple bases, but this is more of her top-notch base that she has, the sheep's milk formula. Really top-notch. It makes a nice, gooey, glossy lather that, you know, I look for, and it works for me every single time. Really good stuff. Underappreciated. Like I said, give them a try. Alright, so let me move some of this stuff out of my way and we'll move on. Alright, next up, let me just grab a little bit there. Alright, next up is budget stuff. This is going to be a short one because everybody always recommends Sterling. So, Sterling Sandpiper right here. That's a great cologne dupe. They have a lot of cologne dupes. They have a few original scents. All of them are good across the board. They have, I think, a couple different soap bases, but nothing to worry about. Sterling, bang for your buck. Always a winner. Everybody always recommends them to newbies, and people that have been in the game for a long time love them. Now then, I'm going to recommend something that I don't hear brought up very often when it comes to budget, and that would be Wild West Shaving Company. They offer these nice 3-ounce tubs, I believe, 2 or 3, but it might not be the same exact value proposition, but the entry point's very low, and you can try out a bunch of different soaps. So you can see there the difference. From my experience, I have a few different scents. I like them all, but if I didn't like them, I wouldn't be in as much. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have shelled out as much money to get there. And I feel like for newbies, that's definitely something that should be brought up. is that these nice little 2-ounce tubs, you could try something. If you don't like it, you didn't go in too deep, you could maybe back out, or you don't feel burned if you didn't like it. So this, definitely a good soap. It'll get the job done, good value, and actually the 3-ounce format is something that I wish more artisans would do. That's just me. I don't know if anybody's with me, but I would like to buy out an artisan that I love their stuff. I'd like to buy out every scent in their arsenal if I could, but I don't have that kind of money. Now, if it was in 3-ounce tubs, might be more feasible. Just something to think about. All right, moving on. So these are some of my favorite aftershaves, and this is going to be based on performance, but remember, it's all personal opinion, so don't get all bent out of shape. So, let me grab some of these. All right. So, first off, A&E. Gotta be. A&E / the shop, the shaving shop. You know them. Great stuff. This is kind of like more of a skin food. It's not the alcohol burn type, but I will say the post shave on it is fantastic. The soft, supple feeling lasts for a long time. The fragrance is pretty damn good. It lasts for a while, a couple hours on your skin, which is more than you can say about some of the others. Some people might not like that. I personally do, and I really highly recommend them. Really unique fragrances as well. And something that I really, really like, they just switched to this, is the cap is childproof. So you could spin. It's not going to come off. You do the whole put a little pressure and spin, then it comes off. And of course, a nice restrictor on top. So I really like that. Childproof. I don't have kids, but I appreciate the extra added effort there. Now then, I also really like Barbado. I know a lot of people get turned off by others saying it has a bad fragrance. It does. It doesn't have any fragrance, really. It has like a little orange rind zest to it. But it's mostly just like alcohol, like rubbing alcohol or medicinal. And it sounds terrible, but it only lasts like tops 30 seconds. It's here. It's gone. What I do when I use this is I'll put it on, let it dry down, then put on a matching aftershave or the aftershave that I want to smell like, or just fragrance of choice for that day. It doesn't linger. The scent doesn't linger, so don't let that turn you off of Barbado. This stuff absolutely has a great post-shave feel. It's actually marketed as razor bump therapy. I think it does really good in that category, but it just leaves your face feeling very moisturized. So definitely don't let the scent turn you off from Barbado. It's good stuff, and it comes in like a monstrous bottle. This is kind of like the industry standard. You can see the difference. All right, next up is a balm. Back to Zingari. Fantastic stuff. Some people don't like splashes at all. That's fine. Check out the Zingari Man Balm. Absolutely fantastic. I joke around because a lot of people call this the best balm in the game, and it's almost became synonymous with the Zingari name. The Zingari Balm, the best balm in the game, it's almost synonymous. People say it almost every time. Now then, I would say a notch down, but also really high quality. Again, Strike Gold Shave and Marting soaps. They are really good post-shave feel, and the fragrance does hang around a little while. And their line carries some really nice scents. So I would say maybe in post-shave performance, it might be a step down from something like A&E in the shop, but it's really high quality, and it's definitely worthy of putting in your den, I believe. All right, so let me get that stuff out of the way. And we'll move right along. So, now this is just kind of personal preference, but I like it for shave of the days, pictures, and posting on the various social medias and whatnot. But this is more so of the aftershave aesthetics. And I believe A&E and the shaving shop are just going above and beyond by leaps and bounds. This is their Black Birch Stout aftershave bottle, obviously in the shape of a beer bottle with the nice cork top. It's totally above and beyond. I mean, look at this thing. It has their branding on the top and bottom, Black Birch Stout. I love it. A splash to cleanse your soul, it says on the bottom. Absolutely awesome, that aftershave bottle. And then another one is this nice little square tonic, again with the cork, but another aftershave in this badass packaging. That stuff right there, just that little extra. It might cost a little extra, but it's badass. You know what I mean? For those shave of the day pictures and the social media postings, that little bit goes a long way with me. All right, let's move on. So now we're going to be talking about brush knots. And again, I'm not trying to say what's the best in the game. I'm not trying to name kings and queens of the wet shaving world. I'm saying what are my favorites in my den. All right, first off, pretty dense right there. Nice Badger brush. This is the Hair Force 1 knot from Strike Gold Shave. Again with the presidential theme. Take it or leave it. They are a badass brand. This Badger knot, gel tips all day. Super luxurious feel. Just the right amount of backbone. It has nice splay. It has good coverage. It has good flow through. I mean, I don't know what more you could want. And it's not even going to blow, your bank account through the water and sink it to the bottom. It's not bad. It's affordable and it's a good one. I'm telling you guys, check out Strike Gold Shave. They got a shit ton of good offerings. And that Grizzly Bay handle is something to look at too. I love the red and black. You will come to find this out. All right, moving on. I would say right along that same vein, also super dense. This is the That Darn Rob Venturian. No idea what volume it is or edition, but this thing is absolutely fantastic. It has good backbone, good gel tips, super soft, nice flow through. I will say I'm a bowl latherer, and I feel like it's a tad weak on the bowl lathering, but once I get it to the face and I start working, like building it up, and dialing in that consistency, I will say does just fine. I love this knot. Really good as well. All right, moving on. This has got to be mentioned. I only own one bore, so don't roast me at the pike. I'm not a super to duper traditionalist, but this is my Paragon bore. It's a 25 millimeter bore. It is probably halfway broke in, and I gotta say, I'm just absolutely loving it. I really look forward to it being fully broken. I could see it's starting to splay more than it used to, and it's softening up a lot more than it used to. But it is very enjoyable. I will say, you soak it, you know the drill. Soak it before you shave. It has more scrub than a Badger, but I'm personally okay with the scrub. It's not to the point where it's uncomfortable. It's not to the point where my face is red and raw before I even get, put the razor to my face. Not at all. It's just a nice comfortable scrub. Like I said, nothing to turn you off. It's actually very enjoyable to me. Just a little bit of scrub. Definitely soft painter. Definitely can work the hell out of a lather. Paragon shaving bore knot. Very nice. Alright. And then, last but not least, you gotta throw a synthetic in there for the synthetic guys. This one is probably my favorite synthetic that I've came across. And this is from AP Shave Co. And it's the Sinbad knot. Synthetic Badger nickname. So, Sinbad, this one happens to be a 28 millimeter. It's quite dense, ultra soft, you know the deal. Synthetics, very, very soft, like a cloud. You already know that. You already expect that. This one was meant to kind of emulate a badger, which I guess more and more synthetic makers are kind of staking that claim now. But I feel like this one lives up to it. It has just the right amount of backbone. It's super soft. It whips up a lather. It has nice flow through. Like I said, synthetics retain water and all that very well. And this one's just a really good performer for me. I really like it a lot. So, something to think about. AP Shave Co. Sinbad Synthetic. Alright. Moving on. So now I'm just going to do a little bit on the accessories here. And one brand has kind of shot out to the front for me that I really enjoy. And that's going to be Lancaster Razor Works. This is my shaving bowl, and you could just see this thing with the red and black, the drip. I got some soap in there right now. I'm going to do a live shave after this over on my Instagram account. But you could see it has ridges, and they just go about every inch and a half or so. And that's all the way around, and that's from the bottom to the top as well. I love it. This thing has ridges everywhere. No matter where you're at, you got some ridge action. And they're not sharp ridges. They're not beating the hell out of your brush. They're all nice and smoothed over, but they're just pronounced enough to help you whip up that lather. And this thing is absolutely amazing. Alright, next I gotta show you is this Black Sheep microfiber type towel. He offers these. It comes with this little leather patch with the button. Nice little hanging material. If you don't like it, you just snap it right off. No problems. I absolutely love this thing. Why not take the luxury all the way to the end of your shave? This thing, super duper soft. It washes easily. Just don't wash it with any cottons or other linting type materials. If you have to, throw it in there alone on a small load. No problem. But the microfiber is so soft on your face. It has great drying ability. You just wick it right off. I don't know. You don't think you need it, and you might not, but I love this thing. It was a great purchase for me. It didn't cost much, and it just took that luxury to the next level, you know what I mean? Instead of using these cheap towels that I have for my hands that feel like crap on the face. This is like, like if you're waxing down a Ferrari. That's the kind of treatment that I'm giving my face. Alright. Moving right along. So, let's grab a little sip here. Alright. Next thing, we're going back to aesthetics, and this is all personal preference. But it's something that I figured I'd highlight because these artisans do really good work in my opinion. So I'm going to just showcase some brush design. Now this is the Alpha Outlaw. If you haven't came across one of these in somebody's shave of the day or in your own den, I would really recommend them. That design right there is simple, classic, timeless. It looks fantastic. I love it. I mean, it comes in a slew of different colorways, materials. Just you can find, if you like the shape, you can find a colorway that you'll dig. Definitely badass right there. All right. Next up, I gotta highlight that darn rub. I personally love the wood. Whether it's dyed or not dyed, this one happens to be dyed. It has a nice pale purple dye to it over this burly wood here. And it has this really nice arch right there in the wood. I love it. But what I really like is how he uses wood with a resin topper. I think that just looks so damn good. And I have to highlight it. Here's another one. This one has some bird's eye maple, I believe. But again, wood with the resin topper. I think it looks fantastic. And last but not least, it's going to be good old wolf whiskers. Fantastic. He has a lot of good shapes. It's got the fluting. Nice compact design. This is a custom. There is a waiting list, all that jazz, but when you finally get it, the work is top notch. I mean, these things look fantastic. The white and red swirl, the black and red swirl, even his coin is just fantastic. So, like I said, I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I'm showing you some artisans that I think make fantastic brush handles. Alright, now on to the razors. And I just want to highlight some of my favorite razors in the den. Not trying to name no best in the game. Not trying to name kings and queens of the wet shaving world. Alright, I came upon this one through eBay. It's a vintage. And it is one of my favorite razors to shave with. And this right here is the Schick 500, Golden 500. I'm not 100% educated on the different types. I don't know which type this is. I know it's a Golden 500 because it says Golden 500 on the head there. But this thing, I feel like it has a beautiful aesthetic and it shaves great. I feel like it's right at that medium aggressiveness, but I feel like it's super smooth. These Schicks are pretty damn intuitive. It has this little angle right there. Just ride the cap. That's what they say on these SEs. Ride the cap. It's that easy. Put that angle right on your face and that's it. Just put that angle on your face, start shaving. Really easy. And I feel like this is beautiful. I love the shave it provides. And I love Schicks in general. You'll come to find that out. I really feel like Schicks, while they do have a group of Schick lovers, I really don't feel like they're given the chance they deserve. I feel like Schicks are badass. Give one a try if you haven't. You could pick one up in great shape on eBay or Etsy. So I'm just going to highlight another one of these Schicks. I got this one done by North Shore Razors. He does custom work. restorations and custom work. This one's red and black. It's got that nice handle, a little bit chubbier than the vintages. And it's got that nice red and black contrast. Just some little shout out there, North Shore Razors. Alright, another one of my favorites in the den is gonna be my Gem 1912. This one doesn't have the Art Deco handle. This one's just the basic bitch handle. But I love it. It really has that old school feel, and that's because it's over a decade old. So, old gear still works fantastic. It'll always work fantastic. You don't need the absolute newest thing. You don't need to be chasing trends to get a good shave. They had it right 100 years ago. With that said, I'm guilty of chasing the latest shit. So, Gem 1912, beautiful vintage razor. Also, you could pick one up for very cheap on eBay or Etsy. Definitely give it a try if you haven't gave it a try yet. Alright, we're going to go on into the major market, DEs, and I gotta mention the carve. The hype is real, guys. The carve is absolutely beautiful. The knurling is perfect. It's not super pronounced, but it's also there. It's definitely there. You'll have a sure grip, no doubt about it. This one happens to be a closed comb. I got an open comb on order, but this thing is fantastic. It gives a fantastic shave. I know people slowly but surely are catching on to the carve, and they're loving it. It is the real deal. Like I said, the hype is real. I'm not trying to sell these things to you guys, but I will say it's more affordable than some of the other premium offerings. And if you want to dip your toes into the deep end, and you want to save up and get yourself a high-end DE, I would say the carve is a safe bet, to say the least. Very beautiful razor. Alright, so that's it for the razors. I'm just going to name off a few of the blades that I generally use most often when I'm not experimenting. And these are my favorites. So, first off, Polsilvers coming in at number 1. Polsilver blades, they have been discontinued. I feel like they wanted to retire while they were on top. Perfectly understandable. They came, they conquered, they're gone. Sorry, guys. So if you do find them, the price is gonna be hiked up compared to other DE blades, but it's worth getting a couple packs just so you know what the hype is about. Polsilvers, they are badass. They are on the sharper end of the spectrum, but that said, they're not as harsh as feathers can be. I know feathers on the first shave, at least for me, are a little bit harsher than on the second shave. They're perfectly fine. These are perfectly fine right from the get-go, and they do carry a high level of sharpness, but with that said, they're very comfortable. So, I love them. Next up, pretty much the total opposite of the spectrum. The Vashkod blades. Very, very affordable. Very accessible. These ones are Teflon coated. I find on the first pass, the Teflon coat is there, and I really don't take off a bunch of growth. But then on the subsequent passes, that Teflon coating kind of gets stripped off. The blade comes out, and it really finishes strong. So, Vashkod blades, very, very comfortable. Probably in the medium sharpness range, and very accessible and cheap. These ones are new to the den, but I felt like they were super, super smooth. Probably right around that medium efficiency. And they are still accessible. And these are the Gillette Nasset blades. Very nice. I don't have a shit ton of experience with them, so I'm not going to go on too much about them. But the shaves that I have gone with them were very enjoyable. So, honorable mention, Gillette Nasset. All right. So now we're going to go on to probably the biggest section here. And this is going to be my scent appreciation, as well as just some soaps that I tend to reach for more often than others because I just like them. So I'm just going to rattle off a bunch of these soaps and give you a little spiel about them, I suppose. All right. Let me bring it over. It's a lot of products to have on my little tiny counter. All right. First off, a pickup that I had a sample of from a year ago. Totally slept on it. Didn't give it a try until the probably September-ish time. And I felt like a damn fool. This one is Barrister & Mann's Vespers. Last year, I heard multiple people say this was their scent of the year. I heard multiple people say that the scent is fantastic. They love it. All this jazz. I totally just passed over it. I had a sample. I totally slept on it. This one is fantastic. Cranberry, balsam, mousse de saxe, and fern are the scent notes. I love this stuff. Check it out. Next one is another great collaboration between Noble Otter and Australian Private Reserve. And this one is kind of a spicy green scent and maybe even a little bit on the darker green side rather than fresh green. And this one is Jungle Warrior. Nice collaboration between Australian Private Reserve and Noble Otter. APR is known for their fragrance making. Noble Otter is known for its fantastic soap base. It's like a match made in heaven. This stuff is fantastic. Like I said, spicy, green, little bit darker green, not so fresh. I love it. Great scent. Next up is one that I reach for a lot. I have very high scent appreciation for this. And this one is Wake the F Up Coffee Oud from the club, the Shaving Shop Club. This one, just as it says, Coffee Oud. It's not too deep and dark though, that you might think. It's actually kind of rides that medium. It's warm. Not real dark, not real heavy. It's actually quite wearable. I could see it for use spring, fall, winter, and even in the nighttime in the summer. This is great stuff. Coffee Oud, not as dark as you think. Definitely worth getting your nose on. This is a great scent. I love this stuff. All right, next one's pretty special to me, and this is gonna be more of a casual use, not so much a going out or date night or sexy fragrance. None of that. This one's more of a casual use. Stay around the house, not going out or just doing something that's not super, not going to an area that's very populated. I'm not saying it's offensive, but it's not really a going out fragrance. But I do have very high appreciation for it because it was unattainium at the time that I found out about it. I pleaded for the guy to make some more. He wouldn't. But a buddy of mine in the shave community hunted it down for me, sent it as a surprise over to me, and I was floored. This one is Tallow and Steel's West Coast IPA. I love this stuff. Doesn't smell like beer, so don't worry about that. It's not one of those scents that if you wear it and go driving and just so happen to get pulled over, you're going to jail. Not like that. This is a bright citrus, but it has this nice resinous tone that goes all the way through it. It's right in the heart. You have the bright citrus top notes, which are commonly found in hops if you don't know. I am quite the craft beer guy you will be seeing me drinking during my shaves. But hops have this nice bright citrus. A lot of them are dank, and they have this resinous undertone to it. And it kind of opens bright, then it has like this resinous, a little bit darker side to it. And I love it. Might be an acquired taste. You know what I mean? I do think this one had mixed reviews. It was quite polarizing, but I love it. Like I said, I'm a craft beer guy, and it just hits home. I love it for days that I'm just staying at home and I want something fun to use. Next one is summer, spring, all the way, but also good for year-round. This is just a fun, great scent, and that's the Gypsy from Zingari Man. Citrus, cucumber, pineapple. You know it's fresh. It's a citrus blast. This one, damn, I love it so much. I basically badgered the soap maker, Heather, to give me everything in her product line in the Gypsy scent. It's just one of those citruses. Everybody has a citrus that they like. This is my citrus, the Gypsy. I got it, the whole damn product line. And I even made her make some products that she didn't make it with. I love this stuff. Gypsy. Alright. Next up, back to the Shaving Shop Club. He has a ton of great scents, so you might just get used to it. But Black Birch Stout. Also beer themed. Does not smell like beer. Anybody who says it smells like a stout is lying. They don't know enough about stouts. This was made with Guinness, I believe, which to me is a pathetic stout. It's basically like the Busch Light of stouts, the Coors Light, Bud Light. It's the garbage beer of stouts. That said, I don't think this smells like stout whatsoever. It's a lovely, it's a luxurious gourmand. It's chocolatey, it's dark, it's warm, it's nutty, like this hazelnut or something. Damn. That'll get you some action. You put that on, get home early, wait for your wife. Black Birch Stout. That, you'll smell like a damn dessert, and I love it. Next up, back to Zingari Man. This one is based on Mason Margiela's Jazz Club, which is a very popular fragrance. It's boozy, it's spicy, it's tobacco. It's a nice winter, fall, nighttime scent. This is the Soloist. It says here pink pepper, rum, tobacco. Just that. It smells fantastic. If you know Jazz Club, you know it's great. And she nailed it. So if you like Jazz Club, check out the Soloist. Alright, and last but not least, we're back to A&E, the club. And this one was new this year. It actually came out towards the end of this year. And it is Asian Pear, the spiritual successor or sister fragrance to Asian Plum. Asian Pear is cognac, it's pear, obviously. It has that same warm, fruity DNA that Asian Plum had, if you're familiar. But warm, fruity. This one actually has a nice pear note that comes out and hits you. You know it's pear. It's not, the pear isn't blended in and hard to detect. You know it's pear. But then it has this, like warm cognac, like slight booziness. Oh, it's great. It's absolutely great. This one had a lot of hype. I feel like it's well deserved. Asian Pear. So I do believe that's going to be it for us. I think I covered everything on my list. Like I said, shave of the days are coming. Expect them. I'll probably be doing product reviews as things come into the den. A lot of opinions here. I'm excited to have a back and forth with people that discover my channel, share experiences, like I said. This one is super long. Most of my shaves are much, much shorter. I only do a 2-pass. We'll get into that. But this one's gone on long enough, I think. Hit the 45-minute mark, so I'll go ahead and wrap it up, but super excited to be doing this for you guys. Instagram live shaves will get ported over when I figure out how to do that, and then I'll have dedicated content for this channel as well. So, looking forward to this. Cheers, guys. I'm happy to be doing this, and I'm excited to meet you. Peace.